Good morning. We are live. We have somebody who wanted to join the lesson today. And now that she realizes she's live on camera, she's getting nervous and camera shy. So she's going to run away now. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to your everyday English lesson right here on English Outside the Box. How are you doing? Yep, there's the sound. Sound's working. All right, so welcome. My name is Jennifer Nascimento, and I am the teacher, the founder, the woman behind English Outside the Box. English Outside the Box is this YouTube channel, my website, EnglishOutsideTheBox.com. It's Instagram, it's online courses, it's online English education. And English Outside the Box helps you learn, practice, and improve your everyday English skills, which are skills that you need every day in English. So do you work? Do you live? Do you travel in the US and the UK or in an English-speaking country? Well, these lessons are going to help you do it more confidently, more naturally, more comfortably, and it's going to help you become more fluent. News. I have news before we start today's lesson. Today we're talking about writing, how to improve your writing, and we're going to review 8 ways for you to practice and improve your writing in English. First, we have some news. I have some news. Right now, you are watching this lesson live. It is 8:37 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So usually in the past, I've been doing these live lessons at the same time every week. Specifically, I've been doing these lessons on Tuesday mornings at 8:30 a.m. US Los Angeles time. That's the West Coast of the United States in California. So I've been doing them at the same time for, I don't even know, a long time now. So notice my use of the present perfect progressive. I've been doing these lessons because I started the lessons in the past and I'm still doing them today, right now. These are my little baby hairs. And I've been doing these lessons. However, the time is now going to change. Why? Because I've realized that not everybody can come watch these live lessons at this same time every week. So I want to start teaching live lessons at different times, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. I want to do it on weekdays. I want to do it on weekends. I want to offer more convenient times. I want to offer different times for everyone watching these English Outside the Box lessons. So what do you need to do to watch? You just need to make sure you are subscribed to this channel and make sure you click the bell, you click the notification button. When you click the notification button, you will get an email that I'm live. You will be notified that I'm doing a live lesson. Also, I'm going to tell Facebook and I'm going to tell Instagram that I'm going live. So if you're not following Instagram or Facebook, follow those, because social media is created for you to get updates and information about your favorite people, your favorite places. And so that's how you can learn more about these live lessons coming. So just a review, in case you're just joining, live lesson times are going to change and they're going to hopefully become more convenient for everybody. The lesson notes will still be available online. They will probably be available the following day or later on in the week. So that means you can still join me live. You can still learn everyday English live with me. You can still go to my website, EnglishOutsideTheBox.com, read the lesson notes and get the practice exercises, but they're just going to be at different times. So subscribe, click notifications. There's going to be a button right here in the replay, and make sure you follow me on social media to get news and updates. Got it? Writing. A lot of people forget about writing. A lot of English learners think, I don't want to write. I just want to travel in the US, and I don't need writing if I'm going to travel. I need speaking. So a lot of students who want to improve their speaking skills in English don't realize the value, don't realize the importance of writing. Writing is so important for your English skills. Writing is so important for your speaking skills. Is that what I just said? Writing is so important for your overall English fluency. And let me just tell you why for a minute. Think about when you write. When you write, you have time to think about what you want to say. You can write it down on a piece of paper, or you can type it on a computer. You can read it, and you can think, that's not right, and you can erase or delete and change it. When you write, you have the ability to make changes, to edit, to think about what you're going to say. You do not have that ability when you speak, right? When you speak, you have to say something right away. You don't have time to edit, to change what you're going to say. So a great way to identify your mistakes in English is through your writing. So when you write and when you edit your writing, or when you get feedback on your writing, it's a great way to see mistakes that you probably make all the time, even when you're speaking. Because if you make the mistake when you write, even when you have time to think and edit, then that mistake most likely happens when you speak because you don't have time to edit. Does that make sense? I hope that's not confusing to understand, but the idea is that when you write, you are able to identify some of the mistakes that you make because it's the final output is what you've done after you've thought, you've edited, and you've changed. So writing, again, is so important for your English fluency, and that's why we're going to talk about 8 ways for you to improve it. So the very, very first thing that I need to tell you, what you need to be doing, if you want to improve your writing, you need to write. Surprise! So you have to be writing. And I want to stress, I want to emphasize that you need to be writing as well, even if you know no one is going to edit or fix it. You need to be writing even if you're not going to give it to a teacher or give it to a professional. You need to be writing all the time. You need to be writing more in your daily life. So the first way that you can get more writing in your daily life, the first task for you to do this week is going to be utilizing information that's already available to you. So English Outside the Box, this website, this YouTube channel, I have created hundreds and hundreds of lessons. Now, I know it's overwhelming for you if I say, go to my website, choose a lesson, good luck. Where do you begin? What lesson do you choose? How do you find old lessons? So I'm going to be giving you a link in today's lesson notes for you to practice your writing with English Outside the Box's Creativity Tuesday. Creativity Tuesday. This was a blog post series, meaning I did many different posts using pictures to encourage writing. I contacted artists, photographers that I found their pictures really beautiful, really inspiring. I've asked for their permission to use it on my website, and then I've given you a prompt, questions, or things to think about with these pictures. So I have a few different Creativity Tuesday posts that you can use to inspire your writing to start writing more every day and throughout your week. So the first way that you can practice and improve your writing is to write, and start with Creativity Tuesday, using pictures to inspire your thoughts, to inspire English, and to practice more writing. The link for these posts, again, are going to be on my lesson notes, or if you cannot wait for the lesson notes, then you want to go to EnglishOutsideTheBox.com click on blog and free lessons. And on the right-hand side of the website, there's going to be a search bar. That search bar is how you can find different lessons on my website. So type in Creativity Tuesday and you will see all of the lessons. If you're watching the replay, I'll include it up here as well. So that's number one. Number two, are you practicing? Are you studying for the TOEFL or the IELTS or some form of academic English test? If you're studying for an academic English test, then you definitely need to focus your practice on more formal and academic style essays. So you need to learn about how to write an essay, the structure of an essay. And if you're studying for the TOEFL or the IELTS, I definitely recommend studying for that specific exam. Maybe the Cambridge, maybe the TOEIC. There are a lot of different types. So I am a teacher who has helped a lot of students with TOEFL. I train TOEFL students. So I have a post about tips for the independent essay. Excuse me. The independent essay. So although my information, my post, my lesson is for the TOEFL independent essay, following these tips for the independent essay for the TOEFL could help with general essay writing for English academic tests. So you can find that lesson here in the replay. You can find it by searching on English Outside the Box, or you can get the link in today's lesson notes that will be available online soon. So the second way to practice and improve your writing is study the TOEFL writing tips for the independent essay. So you'll get tips, you'll get a prompt, you'll learn how to write with an additional video. Number three, you're practicing all this writing. You're writing pictures with Creativity Tuesday. You're writing sample essays for the TOEFL. You're writing, and you want to get it edited. I want to stress, I want to tell you again, it's good to write even if you know you're not going to get it edited because you're still practicing the skill and working on that. However, if you want to get it edited, there are some websites that you can get your writing reviewed and edited. You have probably heard of websites like italki. Italki is a great way to find English language tutors, community tutors, teachers, and you can find a teacher that focuses on writing, edits, and feedback. Or you can go to a free resource that I found called Lang-8. Lang-8.com is similar to Italki, where it's a community of language learners. So you can create an account for free and you can practice this collaboration, this swapping, meaning you write and you give it for a native English speaker to edit, and then you give back to the community by editing some writing in your language from somebody who wants to learn your language. So it's a group work, it's a community, and it's a way to practice and get your writing edited. So that's lang-8.com. You can find tutors on Italki. And yes, final thing, I recommend when you're writing to use Grammarly. If you've never used Grammarly before, and Grammarly is kind of like a word editing program, but it finds your mistakes with spelling, with grammar, with vocabulary, and it edits them for you. It's a lot better than the traditional word check, the Microsoft Word check. So I'll include a link for you to get Grammarly as well. Tip number 4, the fourth way for you to improve your writing is, again, to be writing every day. So I want you to start a diary or start a journal. This journal, this diary is going to inspire you to write a little bit every day. And typically in a journal or a diary, you write about what you think, what you feel, your emotions, your experiences. And this is a great way to practice expressing yourself. So you can practice expressing yourself by starting to write in a journal or a diary every day. And when you do this every day, focus on a different theme. So maybe on Fridays, you write about the weekend. You write about what you're excited to do and you focus on the future tense. Maybe on Mondays, you write about the weekend, what you did, what you experienced, what you felt, and you focus on the past tense. Maybe on Tuesdays, you want to talk about routines and habits, what you typically do in a week, what your Tuesdays typically like, focusing on the present. Maybe on Thursdays, you want to just talk about how you're feeling and you want to learn how to express your emotions and your feelings. So you can use a journal to focus on different parts of English, different grammar, different vocabulary, different ways of expressing yourself. So tip number 4, start a journal and start using it every day. Tip number 5, remember all of these lessons from this week and the past 2 weeks were part of my October learning plan, a series of lessons I did last year for 31 days of English education, tasks, and exercises in English. This year, because the tasks are so amazing and so helpful, we're reviewing them again so you can go through and you can practice and not lose an opportunity that's already there for you. This October learning plan was a collaboration. I worked with a lot of online English teachers. And this week, I want to talk about Anne-Marie from Speak Confident English. So if you've never visited speakconfidentenglish.com, if you've never seen Anne-Marie, then head over to her website now and check her out because she has amazing English lessons. She has a post included for this plan, included for this week, about email mistakes. So if you work in English, if you have to write English emails, this English lesson is something you don't want to miss because you don't want to continue making these mistakes. So the link for this lesson is going to be on my website and on my lesson notes for today's activity. So tip number 5 is reading Anne-Marie's lesson from Speak Confident English about avoiding common email mistakes. Tip number 6, you are online watching this right now. We are in a technology era. So you are probably typing a lot more than you're writing. Especially if you're in school, you're studying in a university, you need to be typing in class, your essays and things like that. So it's important to improve the actual skill of typing, improving your speed, improving your accuracy, improving the ease, the convenience of it. So tip number 6 is going to be practice your writing by improving your typing skills. And there's a really cool website. It's really easy to access. It's free. It's called 10fastfingers.com. And on 10fastfingers.com, you can practice your writing and improve the way you type. This skill, your typing, is going to help, of course, in your work settings. It's definitely going to help in TOEFL or timed academic tests. And it's just going to make you feel more confident as a writer and make you want to write more because it's going to become easier. All right, and tip number 7, the 7th way you can practice and improve your writing is going to be doing more real English writing. So we've talked this week about writing in a journal. We've talked about practicing an essay. We've talked about just typing and practicing typing on a computer. We've talked about writing with a picture. But what about emails? What about letters? What about reviews? What about news stories? What about real English writing that you do? When's the last time you wrote your best friend a letter? Not an email. You know, an email may be okay as well, the digital form of a letter. But when's the last time you wrote something real and something meaningful for someone else? So not just a diary, not just an essay. I want you to practice writing something real and meaningful for somebody else. So a letter, write someone a letter. You can type someone an email too. That will still give you practice. Or maybe you want to give a review. You want to write a review for one of your favorite restaurants or one of your favorite English learning websites. Think about something that you can review in English and practice your writing by writing a review. So practice some real English writing. And finally, number 8, the 8th way that you can practice and you can improve your writing in English is to connect with my podcast, English Across the Pond. So last week, we talked about my podcast because last week we talked about improving your listening skills. And of course, a podcast is an online radio show, so it's going to help a lot with your listening. But the podcast can also help with your writing. So what I want you to do is check out my podcast if you haven't already. You can find it by searching for English Across the Pond on iTunes, on Stitcher, on wherever you use your podcast app, or by going to our website, EnglishAcrossThePond.com. You can practice transcribing what you hear. So take 2 minutes of our podcast, play it, and write down what you hear. This is going to, of course, practice your listening, but because you're writing, it's going to practice your writing as well. You can also use this to summarize what the episode was about. So you listen to the whole episode. There are new episodes every Friday, and you write down a summary of what you heard. Again, a practice, a way to improve your writing, an opportunity to practice writing. Also, you can become a member. You can sign up to become a ponder, a member of English Across the Pond. And as a member, you're going to get transcripts and study plans. And our study plan gives you exercises to improve your writing with gap fill exercises, writing prompts. So definitely a way to improve your spelling and your writing with focused practice in English. So that is the 8th way to practice and improve your writing in English, is to connect with English Across the Pond. You can do it in a free way by writing what you hear and transcribing what you hear, or you can take it one step further, sign up to become a member and get more focused exercises, practice, and help with our study plan. And that's the way that you can improve your writing today. So we talked about 8 ways to practice and improve your writing in English. I'm going to pop into the live chat to see if there are any questions from anyone watching live. If you're watching live and you have a question about writing in English, hurry up and write your question really fast. Type it in the chat and I can answer it before we end today's live lesson. So as I'm waiting for questions, I want to remind you that today is the last day we're doing a lesson at this time at 8:30 on Tuesday. Remember, these everyday English lessons, these live lessons are changing to different times. I'm going to do some morning, some afternoon, some evening, some weekday, some weekend. So the best way to follow these live lessons is to subscribe, click the notification bell, and to follow me on social media, Facebook and Instagram, and you'll be notified of when I'm going live. Remember, today's lesson is all about listening and practicing your English with a native English-speaking teacher. But if I spoke a little too quickly, or if you didn't understand everything, the lesson notes for this lesson and all lessons are available on my website. You can go to EnglishOutsideTheBox.com, click on blog and free lessons. Questions in the chat. When writing an essay, some people wrote, some people write in spoken language. How do we transform from spoken language into written language? Lisa, that's a great question. There are a lot of ways, a lot of things that happen in spoken English. For example, I'm going to tell you about writing. I'm gonna talk to you about writing. I'm gonna. Gonna is the way we say going to in English. However, gonna, G-O-N-N-A or G-U-N-N-A, is never written. This is an example of a spoken form, a reduction, a link, and a change in the writing versus a written form, going to. Gonna, spoken, going to, written. So one step you can take, one thing you can do to transform, to change the spoken and written, is to make sure you're not writing in those reductions or in those links. You want to make sure you are writing the full form. Another way to practice that is to try and not use contractions. So if you're writing, I can't do that, write, I cannot do that. Avoid the contractions. And that's another step you can take into more of a written form, more written type of language. Lisa, so start with that and then let me know if you need more help. Hello, would you like to help me to find a platform writing group? I really work for it. Thanks. I have to try to speak with others. Thanks a bunch. So, Luz Taddy, you want to utilize some of the websites, some of the links that I've given in today's lesson. So I've connected you to English lessons that I have on my website. If you comment below the picture, perhaps you can find a partner or find somebody else who's working on the website and you can get together and practice writing with them. Or a great platform for a writing group would be that Lang-8 website I talked about. That's a community of native speakers around the world. So native speakers in English, native speakers in Russian and Portuguese and Chinese and all different languages. So you can connect with somebody in that group and exchange writing. And that would be a really great platform. Great questions. If you have no more questions, then we're going to wrap up today's live lesson. And we're going to finish today's live lesson. And I'm going to say goodbye and thank you. So remember, you can join me live next time by clicking on subscribe and notifying yourself when I'm live. And I'll see you soon. Final question, can I use phrasal verbs in writing? Yes, you can. So phrasal verbs are an insanely common part of English. For example, I am in a business setting. I need to write a business email, and a colleague sends me an email asking for information that I don't know. I need to research that information. I need to find the information that my business colleague asked me about. I could write my business colleague an email and saying, hey, thanks for your question. I'm not sure the answer. I need to look that up. I will get back to you later. So look it up, for example. Get back. So these are examples of some phrasal verbs that I used in this professional email setting, and it's completely okay. Some phrasal verbs are informal. Some phrasal verbs can be slang. If it's insanely, really, incredibly informal, or if it's slang, then you want to avoid that in professional or academic settings. So you just need to learn about phrasal verbs, their meaning, and their use. Final question. Woo! A lot of questions at the end here, see? I think I have a good writing. I can use vast vocabulary, but when I try to speak, I cannot use the same level of vocabulary. It's normal. Denio, I believe, I think that you're probably writing a significant amount more than you're speaking. You're probably studying a lot of vocabulary more than you're studying speaking. So naturally, these skills, writing and vocabulary, are going to be stronger. They're going to be more developed, and it's going to be easier for you. So what you need to do now is transition to making speaking more common and to make speaking something you do all the time. Naturally, speaking is always going to be more challenging because it creates more fear in in us as adult human beings. We get nervous, we get uncomfortable, we get fear when we have to talk to somebody else. When we write, it's very personal. So the fear is not connected. So there's also other emotions that you have to get beyond, you have to overcome when you speak. So some steps that you can take to improve your speaking is to try and relax and try to think, I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be nervous. I'm not going to have fear. I just need to speak. I know that's so much easier to say than to do, but try to do that and start speaking more. Read the text that you write out loud. Read books out loud. Read websites out loud. Watch my video today. Review the replay. Listen to 30 seconds. Repeat what I say. Repeat what I say. Practice speaking, practice intonation, and just get more comfortable hearing your own voice and speaking. And that's a step to start helping you. Hello, Iran. Thanks a lot from Colombia. I'm seeing your... All right. Thank you. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to go. So I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous week. Remember to head over to EnglishOutsideTheBox.com to watch today's replay, to read the lesson notes, and I will see you later. Bye-bye and happy studying.